I still feel like there hasn't been a PlayStation 5 game that released since Demon's Souls. I don't know why. Alright. This was a game I was anticipating for like the last, I'd say, year or two. I already have an opinion formulated on this. We're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about this. Let's just watch it first and
Welcome to the world of Stellar Blade.
keep your head focused.
The story begins on post-apocalyptic Earth, where a mysterious enemy called the Natiba has forced the human race to flee to an off-world colony.
The enemies do look cool, some of them at least.
Players will take control of Eve, a member of the 7th Airborne Squad. Her mission is to save the planet by defeating the Elder Natiba.
Combat still looks a little
Complete the mission. While most of
uncertain.
the 7th Airborne Squad is lost during their descent from the colony, Eve soon meets 2 new companions. Adam, born on Earth, is in pursuit of an energy source called hypercell.
Make sure to stay cautious.
Yeah, we're going to deep dive this, rewatch it back, and you know, talk about any flags I have, or
Lily, a member of the 5th Airborne
we're gonna
Squad, provides engineering
watch it back.
support.
Lily Artemis II. Then I can be your engineering support.
She puts her technical knowledge to use by upgrading Eve's equipment throughout the game.
Freckles.
Here, done.
Something does feel different. This is Zion, a city built underneath the wasteland by the last human survivors on Earth.
A whole city underneath the wasteland.
Eve is called Angel by the survivors and is an object of both awe and fear.
One big concern I have right now,
They'll seem a bit wary.
it's looking a lot
but
like
will
Cold
gradually
Vein
loosen
to
up
me.
as Eve shows a commitment to rebuilding the city.
Hello, Angel. How are
A
you?
lot more than I'd wanted to.
I can't believe the angel is here.
The survivors will sometimes ask Eve for help.
Please save my younger sister.
Wait right here.
The music though.
Their requests will often lead her to the wasteland.
The
and
music,
great
this
desert.
Gran Turismo ass music.
This place has
Shopping
been
for cars
overrun by
over here.
us. And malfunctioning machines and robots.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of people say it looks like a Near Automata, whatever that game's called.
You'll occasionally find supply stations
Slash,
set by previous airborne squads.
That other chick, Bayonetta.
At each camp, Eve can purchase various consumable items,
I don't see it.
acquire new skills,
I see the Bayonetta. I don't see the Near. Oh, wrestling outfit.
upgrade equipment, and more. She can also take a well-deserved break to restore her health. Eve will often encounter people in need, and other non-human beings who may need her help.
Request your assistance.
Whether to assist or ignore them is entirely up to the player.
Oh, that's a new
On
concept.
her journey to defeat the Elder Natiba, Eve will sometimes encounter hostile survivors.
Entirely up to the player to do the side quest. It's just a funny thing to narrate, you know? It's entirely up to the player to do the side quests. You don't have to do it.
After you defeat the Alpha Natiba.
All airborne squad members exist for one sole purpose.
You mean the extinction of all Natibas, right? To think that the point of your existence is to snuff out another species. It is not an easy fight.
It's
Well, he
fine.
does have a
Do the thing.
shitload of outfits
It
though.
won't be easy.
Pardon my French.
Angel. That's the unofficial name for members of the Eve Airborne Squad.
I can feel the hatred, but I cannot feel the source.
I will find it, and I will make it pay.
Opening. It's windy.
It's probably going to be a mistake to watch this back in slow motion. It's probably going to be a mistake.
To collapse.
drone is different.
This is no longer the drone you knew.
So close to the goal, headed to light.
I do say that some of the shots look really good, like when they're indoors. I think it looks way better indoors than it does outdoors. Stellar Blade. April 26. Cool. Now I'm about to make the mistake of watching it back and getting accused of being whatever. Go ahead and sue me. Let's talk about the flags I have right now. I'm gonna talk about let me say this. Let me get a screenshot real quick. Something. Just put something on the screen. Perfect. That's my favorite outfit, I think. Maybe, I don't know. I don't care. So I am intrigued by this game. I do think it's going to be a fun game at the very least, hopefully. But as much as I'm looking forward to it, I do have some concerns. There's a few things I'm concerned about with this game. We didn't get that much information about the combat, the gameplay. What's the gameplay? We know that there's some form of platforming in this game. We get enough information that there's a double jump, so there's some form of platforming to some degree. How is that going to pan out? What is going to be the stage by stage start to finish? What is that going to be like? What there's a lot of unanswered questions regarding that. I feel like we haven't gotten enough of a hint for what type of game this still even is, outside of some elements of hack and slash, And the hack and slash itself, we don't get that much information on that either. The only good preview of the combat that you can get, you have to go back like 3 years before the game was even, in the mainstream. And from judging off of that, it seems like they were focused on combat specifically before it got, any sort of limelight. It seemed like combat was a very essential part of their approach. And looking at that sequence right there, if you go back before their animations were as nice looking, it was very rough, very rough. I think it looks serviceable. Right? It doesn't look too Devil May Cry-esque. It seems like there's directional attacks, basic type of things. Or maybe that's like just a fourth hit in the string, because he did like a vertical slash horizontal. Let me see. How extensive are the combos in this game? Vertical slash down, horizontal, then 2 more up, and then a side kick. Like, we don't know what this game is going to be like right still. Are those special moves? Are there like special move councils of some sort? Is there like some sort of super meter? Right, there's a lot of unanswered and unresolved questions that I have before I can make my opinion on whether I'm going to like this or not. So that's one flag, I guess. The other flag is just that I think, if we can get to a better shot. Actually, we're not going to have it slow mode. We're going to speed it up. I'm going to put audio and we're going to speed it up and slow it down when necessary. So the upgrades and stuff.
It does feel different.
That could be good or it could be bad. Because what upgrades mean is they're locking stuff behind the game. And it may be things that will make the game feel complete at the start. And that's always a concern, is that skill trees could make the game feel like garbage intentionally to make you play the game longer, when I feel like skill trees should be instead should be something to look forward to and just give you extra, not the basics, right? So the fact that it's double jump that they showed here, that's not bad. That's not bad at all. You know, that's a plus. That's a bonus. If they would say, hey, you unlocked jump, then we have something to talk about. If they say like you unlocked the ability to like wall jump or something like that, then that's pushing it. That's pushing it. Locking away fun, intentionally making the game feel worse at the start is just not my ideal of a fun time. You know, so if I feel like skill trees should always just be the more spectacular side, above and beyond, instead of here's the complete game. You can only achieve partial of the complete game per run. Anyway, that's just my concern with skill trees, but it's not that big of a deal. Here's my other complaint. Let's turn on the volume real quick. Not complaint, but concern.
Their requests will often lead her to the wasteland and the great desert.
That right there. That right there. But often lead. Let me take off this freaking owl. I thought it was gonna be cool to have like a representative of me. But get this shit off my screen. Her search or her quest will often lead her to the great desert and wastelands or whatever.
Quests will often lead her to the wasteland and the great desert.
To the wastelands and the great desert. That is red flag number 2. Skill tree is like a yellow flag, but red flag is this one right here. 2 red flags. The great desert and the wasteland. Now, I don't know about y'all, but for me, personally, this does not look like an exciting environment. Nor does it look like something I want to explore. When I look at this, let's put it in slow motion because action's starting to pick up. It's moving too fast. When I look at this, it does not inspire me to want to search for treasures or anything like that. You know, and I feel like whenever you have, I feel like the environments and the backgrounds in games are often overlooked or underappreciated for how important they are. And with this, it's given me a lot of Code Vein vibes, more so than Nier Automata, more so than that other game, the other chick with the long body, Bayonetta. It looks a lot more like Code Vein to me, because Code Vein, is cool as some people may think that game is, the environments are very bland. It's very ugly to look at. I think this is like the coolest outside shot that we've seen so far, because there is like some variety here. You know, that little oasis there and the palm trees. It's like the coolest outside shot that I've seen so far. But when you go to like games like Nier and you know, when we make those comparisons to Nier Automata had some pretty darn good backgrounds and settings and environments that pretty much separated from the pack entirely. It's, you know, that's its own thing. This looks very, very basic. Like very, very basic. Like just Code Vein, which I'm getting vibes from this. Code Vein reminds me of Sonic 4. I don't hate Code Vein, but I also don't like it. Sonic 4, a lot of people just don't even remember the game exists. They don't even acknowledge it. And why? Because it doesn't have the charisma. It doesn't have anything that made the previous Sonics. When you look at Sonic 4 and then you go back and you look at Sonic 2, it's very clear right off the jump. Let's do this actually. Let's do this right now. Right. We look at this and we look at stuff like you look at all of this right here. it looks fun. You know, it looks like something you want to take part in. You know, that's one of the key things when you're playing a game, when you're reading something, you're watching something. When you don't really appreciate it, but you'll find yourself saying, you know, this looks like a cool place to be in. This looks like some place I want to visit. You know, even in horror games and horror films, Resident Evil, Silent Hill, those games have beautiful settings, backgrounds, and environments in their own right of creepiness, or like just completely just within their realm, that makes you feel like you may want to step foot into them and view them at one, you know, for one reason or another. Put yourself in that setting. Let's go to Sonic 4 real quick. So here's Sonic 4. It looks like it's trying to recapture Sonic 2 in the previous Sonics, but it just doesn't look quite like it's quite there. It doesn't look like there's anything popping, right? It doesn't look like it has any life or any soul. This is Sonic 4. Right, here's Sonic 4. Sonic 4, the game nobody remembers. They neither hate it nor do they like it. They just pretend it doesn't exist. And that's something, because even Sonic 06, largely regarded as one of the worst Sonic games, has appeal. Sonic 06, not the prettiest looking game by a large margin, right? It's got its faults. But even Sonic 06 has some element of making you want to explore, making you want to look at it. There's something about it that is not completely trash, even though the game is completely trash. You know? There's this element of awe in there somewhere. Somewhere, you have to look hard for it. And maybe you have to squint your eyes at some areas, but it's still there. It's still there, and it's still a somewhat decent background setting, backgrounds, environments. It's just, you know, this game is not something you really want to play. And so there's something to be said about having great backgrounds and settings and environments that is unspoken, that determines how well received something is. There's something to be said about having great environments that makes you want to explore and go deeper into the game, deeper into the story, the movie, to completely immerse yourself. Code Vein, a game that may be celebrated for having large hum-hums, should not be the end-all be-all. Right, here's a stage that looks cool. This stage looks cool. This must be later on, right? It must be later on. Right, this stage looks kind of cool, actually. But this is a stage that you don't start at. The starter stages are some of the most blandest stages, quite frankly, that I just didn't feel inspired to continue playing. Anyways, Code Vein is a lot of this at the start. At the start, you just get a lot of just desert, dry wastelands, and you know, it's not very thrilling to look at. I feel that way about Stellar Blade so far. What they're going with, I feel that way. Like, they haven't shown us anything too spectacular. And that's just like one concern that I have with this game, is when you look at the environments and you look at, you know, the outside, it doesn't really inspire a sense of exploration or wanting to even be there in the first place. Sun, this orange lighting, orange yellowish lighting, pretty much every outside shot. And this is kind of just not the most appealing thing, you know. Like, if they're going for like contrast and having the character be this way and be like the only like I guess, appealing thing on the screen. I don't know if that really works. I think it works better when you have both elements complementing each other. And you know, so that's just like one other red flag that I have, is that the backgrounds don't really do much for me. And I hope that these are just like 1 or 2 stages that they're showing off. You know, I'm hoping that they didn't put their best foot forward in this trailer. In some of the previous trailers, like the indoors, when they go indoors, it looks okay. You know, it looks okay. It looks better. Still not looking like anything drastically like a work of art or anything, but it's at the very least, it looks more detailed. It looks more fitting, I guess. It looks more fitting. So anyway, that's just my other red flag, is that the game's environments don't look appetizing. So that like right grid at the bottom is HP. SH, I don't know what that stands for. I need to slow down some more. This is going by too fast. Okay. Okay. There's HP, and then there's 2 other meters. And what looks like a quick item. And I don't know what there's just a lot of shit on screen. On the right looks like a secondary weapon. Yeah, another thing that excites me about this is that there was like some comment, like I think on like a PlayStation official like website like a couple months ago, where they said like the game is intended to be a challenge. That's what hyped me up. That got me hyped, because it means that they're at the very least confident that their game is worth being hard. And let's skip it a bit. Characters look kind of whatever. The saving grace for this game is honestly the outfits. That's like, you know, the outfits are the saving grace, because the environments, as of right now, they haven't inspired anything awe or jaw-dropping yet. Ooh, let's look at that dodge real quick. Right, if the environments aren't doing it, if, you know, I don't think I guess my third red flag would be the story, the narrative. It doesn't seem like the character Eve, doesn't seem like she's like going to be doing any carrying for this story. You know, as far as I can tell, she doesn't seem like she has the personality to carry this on her own. And that is also a big difference between Nier and holy shit, between Nier, we're not rewinding that, between Nier and Bayonetta, and this so far, from what we can tell through these trailers, this character doesn't look like she has the credentials to carry a story on her own. Right? I haven't gotten any instances of a backbone, of, you know, any sort of personality that stands out. It just kind of seems like the narrative is driving her along the way, and there's just not much else. Yeah, let's. Oh, hold on. That looks like a cool place. Yeah, this game looks a lot better when it's dealing with environments that look more lived in, have more some sense of greenery, or even just like buildings, or just something that looks a bit more less dystopian. Right, I feel like dystopian can look good and even luxurious with a decent artistic mind behind it, and then it can just straight up look ugly, you know. Like I feel like there's just some glimpse of hope for backgrounds and environments in this game that I can't completely write it off. I'm just concerned about it right now. But there is some hope in that it does look better indoors and dealing with more lived-in spaces. But then some of that, you know, you're going to be visiting the deserts a lot, the great deserts. That doesn't install a lot of hope. But yeah, I don't feel like this character is built to carry the narrative on her own. Right? It's either, you know, we don't know her personality yet. We don't know if she has a personality yet. It seems like it's just gloom and doom. And then it's probably going to be like some biblical Adam Eve BS that they're going to pull. Let me say something that I don't really like. I don't like that the main male character, I don't like him. His name is Adam, right? Just off the bat, I don't like this motherfucker. I don't like the Adam, I don't like the Eve, I don't like this shit, because it's telling me that you're trying to pull some shit. I'm not feeling it. I'm not feeling it. Maybe if you didn't name them Adam and Eve, you know, but the fact that you named them this specifically, I could feel the bullshit coming. But I feel like the Eve character is taking a back seat to Adam, because, you know, just based off the trailers of Adam doing all this narration and, you know, do you feel like your existence is only for this? It must be bad that you're only existing for this one thing, and da 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 da, and, you know, and this is what we're here for. To extract the blah 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 blah. You know, destroy the Natibas, and da 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 da. You know, and he's just doing all of this talking and narration, and Eve has done shit. She's done nothing to give her any sort of character through these trailers for the past 4 to 5 years. You know, so that's on my concern of red flags. Is I think Adam is annoying already. I think the compatibility that they're setting up is already annoying, and I feel like, you know, I'm hoping that Eve, if we're going to be controlling this character through the whole way, I'm hoping that she has some form of backbone, some form of personality, some form of, either she's a shit talker, would be my personal favorite, and I would fall in love immediately. It's like my weakest point. I love a good person who could talk shit. You know, and that's one way to win my heart over immediately. Or they're funny, or, you know, whatever they're doing, they do it unconditionally. You know, like, think of the Major in Ghost in the Shell. Doesn't take shit. You know, she's got her thing. She's kind of like this cyborg Batman. She's kind of cold, but also she jokes around here and there. But she's mostly just like a cold, get shit done, take no shit, but also talk shit to the bad guys whenever possible, you know, in a cold way. But you can never tell that she's doing it, because he always has this like cold expression. You want to follow the Major. You want to see what the Major does next. You want to see how she interacts and how she does things. I don't know if Eve is going to be given that opportunity, if she's going to be written in that way where she has something going for her. It doesn't have to be any of the things that I just said, as long as it's something. As long as it is something. But what I'm getting so far, the vibe that I'm getting so far, is that Adam is like the replacement for her, and he's doing all of the characterizing for her. That's just what I'm getting. Because I don't know, maybe she's an android, I don't know what she is, but I hope that there's something. That's basically it. I hope that there's something that we have not seen in any of these trailers that makes the character come more to life. So, give her a rival. Give her a rival. Let this be her rival or something. I don't know. I don't care. Give her like a Sasuke. You know, that would carry. That would carry. She just has a rival throughout you know, the whole game. Sure, whatever. He has a better cyborg who's just like, you know, I got better, I got a better ponytail than you, you know, bitch. And then they run off, and you're just chasing after trying to, you know, be more fashionable than this cyborg, this bitch ass cyborg the whole game. That, I don't care. Something. Let it be something. And that will solve all of my concerns. As long as it's something, you know. I just don't want this biblical shit with Adam and Eve to be everything. Well, that monster looks cool. Ninja suit or just spy suit. Looks cool. Like, it looks cool indoors. Right, there's a little jet boat. Oh, there's a snowland. Uh-oh. The snow area. You see that? Let's look at the damage. See, he's doing a lot of damage. Oh, there's no damage on that last one. Holy fuck, that pause. Like, look at the damage per hit. Alright, I'm gonna get on my gaming shit real quick. Okay, I'm gonna put my mouse up here so I can like keep an eye on the health gauge. About right. One hit did a lot there. Assuming that there's only one health bar and that I don't know what the bottom one is, that's more segmented. Maybe it's like a special or something. Based off of that one hit, if it's only one life bar, about 10% on that one hit. Maybe slightly less, maybe like 5%. But even if it's 5%, that's 5% for one attack. I mean, look at where my mouse is at. I don't know if you can see my mouse. So he did 2 attacks and it took off that much. And he's doing a third, which is like a special move, so it's not accumulating the damage do the multi strikes, so I could just assume that it's a special move and it's gonna tally up the damage after it finishes. So we're looking at more damage after that. But off of those 2 strikes, damn near 10% health. You know, maybe more. Maybe like 15%. And his finish is probably going to be around 25%. Oh my god, you see how much damage that did? Whatever that was. Wind it all the way to the beginning for the fan service. But what is this outfit? See, this is actually the selling point. This is where all my concerns that I've been saying, I guess they could make the game better, but really, if all of these things I've been saying about red flags, yellow flags, if they all turn out to be true and it's like the worst for every one of those subjects I just touched over, the selling point for this game is absolutely a must. That the outfits or the unlockables and the treasures that you find, the outfits have to be like the like point of the game. Like they just have to be. Like, I don't see much else that they could be going for. But I do hope that they give this character, give her a character. I do hope they do. Oh yeah, we're supposed to look at the damage. What even is the move that she's doing? I didn't pay attention. Right. Looks like some sort of stagger blow, you know. And whatever it is, he lost both meters. And by the way, that did like it did a grip. But he also lost this bar at the bottom. Whatever that is. He has a grenade, by the way. So he didn't lose anything. I'm looking on the right now. Alright, nothing. And then we have this right here where it did no damage to this guy. Right, that did nothing. We gotta go back because there was this one point where she got attacked earlier on in the trailer, and I want to see how much health that took off. Oh boy. Okay, they stopped showing the health bar. I'm not really interested anymore. Oh, here we go. Here we go. Another cinematic finisher or stun stagger attack. Alright, didn't seem like it did all that much, like 5, 10%, 7% or so. Oh, it did enough. Right, I'm not feeling this background, right? It's the lighting that's I don't like. It's like the lighting is just overpowering everything. Right, cool. I don't know. I'm digging for straws over here. Let's go back where she took damage.
Find supply stations set up by previous airborne squads.
Also, for those, this reminds me of this game that I played a year ago. That portion reminds me of this game right here. This game right here. It's an indie game, 2D cyberpunk, you know. This game is pretty cool. Pretty cool. Thinking about doing a playthrough of it before this comes out. This game has a decent combat, nothing too spectacular, nothing too crazy. Has a skill tree, has all of that, you know, vending machines to buy your goods and fill up all the stuff, camps and you know, boss battles and, you know, character outfits. Not that much, but whatever.
A mysterious enemy called the Naytiba has forced the human race to flee to an off-world colony. Players will...
It looks cool here. The outside looks cool here. The environment, like...
flee to an off-world colony.
That shot right here looks cool. But I'm presuming this is the start of the game. You know, and this is an example of dystopian wastelands and all that stuff looking cool. And I feel like there's not enough from what we've seen in the trailers of it looking cool. Where was it that she took damage?
And other non-human beings.
Holy shit, you see how much damage that shit? We have not been paying attention to the health bars. Now that's either a guard or a parry. Okay, let's slow-mo this thing. Welcome along the bootleg journey where we pretend like we're streamers, you know, and just chill. Let's examine the damage here. This helps us get an idea of what type of game this is. Alright, she does a parry of some sort. And then she gets the follow-up. And it does a decent amount. And here it looks like also the result of another parry. And I forgot to measure it. I forgot to measure it. Okay, so like right here. Okay. That is a decent chunk of damage for presumably a boss fight. That is a lot of damage. Right, and also we don't know if you can upgrade your weapons. We don't know if there's multiple weapons. We don't know if there's like some sort of statistics of any sort of kind, or if the damage is just stagnant the whole way through. Right, we know so little. And all of these things, the more that we know, will shape how this game turns out, and our idea of the identity of what type of combat it's going for. Because it looks on the surface like it's trying to be like a hack and slash Devil May Cry-esque, Bayonetta-esque, press the button, mash the button, you know, do a bajillion hits to do a minimal amount of damage. You know, cool points, style points. That's what it looks like on the surface, but it doesn't seem like that's what it's going for. And much to my liking, because I don't like that style. I like more methodical, more defensive into offense, a decent balance and harmony between both. That's typically what I go for. And every single blow that you land can deal a significant amount, not a huge amount, but just enough to make it feel impactful, you know, and not needing to do 10,000 hits, a 10,000 hit combo to do, you know, 20% damage. You know, I hate that because it makes it feel just like just too much to do so little, and it's not a good feeling. You want to feel rewarded. That's my take, at least. You know, so judging off of this, they're giving you a lot of feedback through damage for every strike that you land. And I think that's a good thing. I think that's a positive for what type of combat they're going for. Alright, going back into the cutscenes. How are the guns going to play out? He's shooting. He was doing headshots. Yes, he's got a laser beam that has a tick. Health tick. Right. He's getting XP. So you're leveling up your character. You're either leveling up your character for stats or for the skill tree. But is he using ammo? Is he using ammo? That's the other question. I don't know, I lost my place on the bullet shot, so I can't go back to it. But also notice he gained like a bit of like whatever BU means. When she dodged, she gained 1 BU. Or BE. Wait a second. Crucial information off of that right there. She gained health back. She gains health back for doing this move. Presumably from killing the minions in this boss fight. She used them to get health back. Now, I don't know about you. But to me, I don't know. It could smell trouble. Now, I don't know if y'all ever played or heard of this game, but it's a game called Kanochi, also called Nightshade on the PlayStation 2. in every boss fight, you're dealing with minions and add-ons in, you know, a boss fight, and it's like part of the gameplay that you defeat all the add-ons in a sequence of flow, like you connect them into like some sort of string, and once you kill all of them, your attack progressively becomes stronger within a certain time period, you know, and then you can chain that into hitting the boss, and then it will deal more damage to the boss. It's very much the entirety of that game, and you're dealing with a shoddy camera the whole time. You know, it's kind of just all over the place. I don't like it, but it's extremely hard. It's extremely hard because you're dealing with technical issues to be able to perform all of this, as well as trying to identify the boss patterns. But this right here, it could spell trouble in that the boss fights might be tailored around, you know, something similar, where you might have to get health back from them, or it could go down that path. It could go down that path of boss fights harder because add-ons. You know, that is a potential flag. But we don't know. We don't know anything yet. It can also mean that this game could be brutally hard, which is a bright spot in a sense. That could be a bright spot. This is all speculation. She gained BU from doing that dodge.
A city built underneath the wasteland.
Take everything I say with a grain of salt. My opinions change by the hour.
They'll seem a bit wary at first, but will gradually loosen up as you show the commitment to rebuilding the city.
Hello, Angel. How are you?
I see we have guests.
The music though, the music is probably the best thing about this trailer.
Will also lead her to the wasteland and the Great Desert. This place has been
This game is going to have one of, if this is part of the game, it has the potential to thrive in multiple areas. Musically, the music could just be like on some OG chill type of shit, or is this just something that you could just bump, do your homework to, right? On some I don't want to screw the name up, but Nejubes. Like, I'm pretty sure I'm going to screw the name up, but it could be on some OG chill type of vibes where it's just, you know, it could be.
overrun by Nativas.
Oh yeah, here we are. Found you. It got you. You fell for it. You thought I was watching you again, huh? Nah. Let's go to the gunshot real quick. Where she was shooting them. I want to see the damage there. Okay, so the bullets are at the bottom left, but also displayed near the reticle. Got 45 shots. And it seems like long-range attacks are draining the second bar more than they're draining the health. Can we zoom in? Oh, okay. OG Detective Owl on the case. OG Detective. Thank me later. Holy shit. When you get up close, oh my god. Okay, we're looking at the bullet, the second meter on the enemy. You see, it started like it started damn near full. So maybe that's like a stagger. Maybe that's like I'm not looking, I swear. Maybe that's like a stagger. I swear I'm not looking. I swear. That could be a stagger bar. That's what it looks like it is. It makes sense because, you know, there's stagger type of moves. You go in, you get press the shiny square button. Also, I'm not feeling the UI. I'm not feeling the UI of the colors of the UI. I'm not a fan of the white health bars, and you know, it's all too bland. Where's the video games at, man? Where's the health bar being green or blue or red? Where is that at, man? I feel like something needs to be in here to spice the game up, make it customizable. The player can edit their own UI. Something needs to be here to make it look less bland. You know, if it's going to be like just white and black, the world needs to be colorful. Something needs to be colorful to make up for it. The world over here is already on the suspect end of the spectrum. Give us some form of life. And I think the UI is just a little too basic. Not too basic in the design, but too basic in it needs some flavor. It needs some flavor, because be real, y'all couldn't tell what was happening. I couldn't tell what was happening. I had to zoom in and see the optimum sculpture of don't look. I'm not looking. Future wife, my future wife who is out there somewhere, I am not looking. I am investigating the gameplay. I swear. Honestly, I am. I swear I'm. How can you not see this shit? From what we've seen in a previous clip, it looks like there's like head or body proportional damage, like headshots and stuff like that. I'm gonna look for any indication of that. It doesn't seem like there's any indication. Oh, her health bar. How'd I go down? Everything important is on screen for y'all, maybe. Damn it, where is it at? Where's the health bar? Oh, they intentionally hid it. They intentionally hid the health bar. They intentionally hid the health bar. Intentionally hid the health bar so that we couldn't see it. They knew I was going to be here investigating. They knew Introvertedowl was on the case. And they said, nah. Y'all remember that magician who was telling all the secrets of the magic shows? He was like, this is how it's done. Let me take you behind the curtains. And he was like, when they're levitating, here's what they're really doing. You know, and they're like sewing like strings and whatever in the background, and they're like showing like he's actually standing on something that blends in with the floor. And all the magicians were getting pissed off at this dude who had like a soul on like comedy whatever, or maybe it was like, I don't know what channel it was on, like the Sci-Fi channel or whatever. And he was just exploiting all of the magician's secrets, and all the magicians were just out with pitchforks and like, this dude is out here ruining the business. He's out here ruining the shit for us. They were pissed. That dude, I wonder if he's still alive, because he had motherfuckers out on for his neck. He done pissed off the entirety of the Magician Guild. All of them. He had a negative karma points. I'm exploiting all of this shit. Thank me later, or whatever. I don't care. Just chill. What's up, everybody? Quadruplet 3 SP guarantees additional arcs to deal a final blow and stuns enemies. The command is L1 plus square plus into L1 plus square. So it seems like there's the left side is a weapon, the weapon based skill tree, and the right side looks like it's long range. And the above, I could not tell you what the fuck that is, nor the bottom. Holy shit. I think this game is no, I'm not going to say it. I'm not going to say it. I think this game is in good hands. My biggest gripes are the environment so far. Right? It may be more so because I just came off of playing Tekken, and Tekken 8's backgrounds and environments are just top notch. They're just so top notch. You know? And spectacular and fantastic, and by comparison's sake, this looks underwhelming, but the experience of this could be top notch. Watch it all in I can't just quit zooming in. How do I zoom out? I'm pressing. Okay, thank you. Yeah, I think it could be fun.
And other non-human beings who may need her help.
Request your assistance.
Whether to assist or ignore them is entirely up to the player. On her journey to defeat the Elder Naytiba, Eve will sometimes encounter hostile survivors. Or something worse.
Yeah, I'm really excited about the fact that they said the boss fights or to expect a challenge, right? That's their exact words, expect a challenge. That really excites me more than anything that is shown in this trailer. The outfits and stuff is cool. I think that is going to be what they're going to thrive off of, and hopefully they put a lot of them in there because it needs something. The UI, I hope it's customizable. The stages, I hope that they're more colorful, more at least more nature-based stages, or at least more lived-in based environments. I hope there's a decent amount of wide open space, which it seems like there is a lot of, and I hope there's medium spaces, and I hope there's small corridor spaces as well. I hope that the character has some sort of character. The you know, I mean, it's cool and all. The character looks, you know, gorgeous and all of this stuff. I think it's beautiful, right? Regardless, I think, you know, and here's one thing: there's people that are hating on this game based on the character proportions and models, and I think that's just quite silly, to be honest. I think that's quite silly. Obviously, they're very determined to like what's the word, magnify what they want to portray for the character, right? It's pretty obvious that if you don't have a problem with anime, if you don't have a problem with Bayonetta, I was trying not to pause it on that, okay? I was trying to like pause it before we got to it, and thankfully I didn't pause it on that, because y'all can't accuse me of shit. I hope, wait, what am I talking about? I feel like if you are okay with Bayonetta, you're okay with anime, if you're cool with, you know, the various animes, you're not safe for work artists, if you're okay with sex workers and all that, there's no reason to not be okay with this, right? There's people talking about the studio this, the studio did that. I don't know if there's any like validation towards any of this. It seems like from what they've talked about, it's just like some sort of media related, like social media related thing. I can't speak for the studio. I can't speak on something like that, right? Based on allegations of this or that. I can't speak on that. I don't know where this information came from. It could be true about, you know, whatever harassment, something happened with the female and they fired her or some shit like that. I can't speak on that. I don't know where to look, how to even go about finding it. I wouldn't know. But if it did happen, you know, that sucks. It's happened before. Not saying it's cool, but when the deeper you go, the more political it becomes. And I don't like doing politics, but I do like calling people out on bullshit, right? There's people who are extreme on one side and on the other side. They're both extreme in their own ways, and they both portray themselves differently. One is out and openly, you know, just out and openly, they expose themselves, and one is just full of a lot of hypocrisies, and they overlook the type of people who will keep like a family member or somebody close to them, keep their crimes hidden behind closed doors, and try to protect them, but at the same time they'll be preaching, you know. I feel like there's just a lot of pointing a magnifying glass at one thing, trying to bring a problem out of something, and then a lot of sweeping under the rug, this and that. And both of these sides, the sides that's like feminism, we want to protect women, you know, all for women workspace and da 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 da, and you know, and that's all good, nothing wrong with that, you know. I see nothing wrong with that. I perfectly understand, you know, trying to have representation, you know, and portrayal of people that you want to see, that you can show your kids or your future people, that you can not feel ashamed of, right? I can perfectly understand that. But I don't understand how you can be strong in that stance, and in the same sentence or the same vein, you'll be supporting, like, or just advocating for, you know, all this overly advertly sexualization thrown out in the media for other genres and artists, you know, and like VTubers and artists and the whole whatnots, sex workers, and over, you know, just all throughout the media, music videos and whatever, you know. And I can't comprehend how you can be cool with that when both of these can reach the youth. They can reach a vast audience, and they're a portrayal. Whether it's liked or not, they're a portrayal. I just feel like it's pick and chosen where you raise your pitchforks, and in that sense, I don't see how this is any harm. I don't see how this brings any harm to anyone anywhere. I just don't see it. Now I do understand this, that a lot of it comes from they're just not fan of the opposing group, who are like anti-cancel culture, blah 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 blah. We don't like censorship. This, you're trying to censor us, you know, blah 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 blah. Woke this, woke that, yada yada yada. I can understand them as well. I understand that shit from a sense of not agreeing with everything that they do and say, but you would like for an artist or a person's original idea, their culture and everything, to be able to be shown in its fullest and uncut and unfiltered, just the way that it should be. You would like that. You would like to live in a world where that is the case. You know, I can understand wanting it to be the way it was meant to be, right? I'm someone who supports artists, who wants art to be in its purest form. I'm somebody who wants that. I see no harm in it, but there's also levels. There's levels to everything, right? Too much of a good thing can be a bad thing in some sense. Like too much, some arts should not be shown to some people at certain points in their lives. Like to youth, they may need to be older to view something. Doesn't mean that that something is bad. It doesn't mean that, you know, a display of somebody in a nude artwork is bad. It just means that you probably shouldn't be showing the youth that at early ages until they're able to connect and understand the concept of whatever at whatever rate that you're willing to teach them, at whatever rate that they seems that they are ready to learn. I'm all over the place, but kind of try to stay with me. I can understand the side of like, we don't want the censorship and all this. I can understand that part. I can understand that they are fed up. These two groups are fed up with each other. We don't want council, blah 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 blah, censorship, and other sides like we don't want bad representation of women and yada da da. You know, I can understand that center point from both sides. What I don't agree with is the whole council culture, the woke stuff, because I feel like both are actively doing the same shit and they don't even realize it. They're both actively doing the same shit and they don't even realize it. They're both trying to cancel each other out and they don't even realize what they're doing. They're both in their feelings. One side, it's like no woke here, go woke, go broke, all that bullshit. It honestly just feels like a cover up for some other shit that, you know, they can't hide it because it's very blatant. and how they really feel and what their gripe really is all about is very blatant. I don't know, man. This shit is just so corny to me. It's so corny. Like, you want to support this game. I want to support this game because I think it looks cool. I think it looks fun. Could be an entertaining experience. And sure, there's like fan service in a healthy bit. What's wrong with that? What's wrong with it? It's everywhere. You can't go anywhere without seeing it. It's in every music video ever, especially in these modern times. It doesn't seem like it's distasteful, is what I'm saying. I've seen way worse. I've seen so much worse. I've seen so much worse, is what I'm saying. So much worse. So many different places. Anyways, that's pretty much all I wanted to say and talk about regarding this game. I think it looks cool. And I hope that it turns out to be great. The community is absolutely going to be the worst part of this game. Both communities is going to be the worst part of this game. One community is going to be an annoying bitch talking about, I can't believe you support this and that and that and that and that. And the other community is going to be so annoying, like, hey, look at this. See what happens when you don't listen to blah, 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 blah. And look at this. Oh, so beautiful, so cultured and da, 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 da. And I tell you, both of these sides, both of these communities, I just pray. I pray that y'all stay the fuck away from me, and I hope that people who do play this game, Godspeed to them. Godspeed. These are two annoying, full of hypocrisy, full of picking and choosing communities that really, they just want to get a room and get it on with each other, right? They really just want to get a room, but instead they try to involve everybody and be expositionists. Keep that shit to yourselves. We're so beyond all of this nonsense. You know, the craziest thing, I've seen like comments, it's like Reset Era is like one side of the women's rights. It seems like it's like their main priority. You know, feminisms and you know, just all of this type of stuff, you know, representation. I feel like they're not bad when it comes to fighting games. When it comes to fighting games, I tend to agree with Reset Era. Right? I tend to agree with them for the most part. Not in everything, but for the most part. But, you know, there's times where it's like, I feel like, you know, that's when the picking and choosing comes in. I feel like I honestly just feel like they're both bigoted in their own ways. I feel like they're both have their moments of bigotedisms in their own ways. Like they're talking, like, there's some comments on here. There's like this model, Evie or whatever. It's like all this, you know, plastic looking, blah blah blah, AI generated nonsense, typical Korean this, Korean that, and I'm just like, it all just like covered my mouth. Like, I can't believe what I'm reading right here. You know that this is based on a person. This was a person's image that you're talking about, you know. And I'm just like covering my mouth. It's like, I can't believe what I'm reading right here, and everybody just like turning a blind eye to that. I just couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe what I was seeing. Like, talking so bad about this person. Typical Korean this, typical that, AI generated nonsense. You know, and this is based on a person. It's based on a person. This is a person's image, you know? And that is crazy to me. That's crazy. That is crazy. That is crazy. That is crazy bigoted. That is crazy actual bigoted. And it's wild to me that nobody checked these people for saying this. They did add weight to the character. They added more weight to the character. The character actual model is much thinner, but it's the same face. You know, it's like, okay. Kind of feel like that moment in Dragon Ball Z where it's like Trunks is like, Krillin, you put that android down, or whatever, you know, like, and Trunks is like going on his spiel like, he's just an android, we don't like their kind, and Vegeta's looking at him with the side eye like, that's how I feel. That's how I feel. Like, really? Like, wow, this is kind of uncomfortable what I'm seeing right here. And then there's the other side, right? They're gonna censor the game. They're gonna censor the game. They're gonna put a black woman, make her the character instead, and make her overweight and unattractive, and you know, that's what they do, right? That's what they do. And people are like, yeah, you know, it's going to happen, you know, they're going to do that, yeah, okay. And I'm like, wow, you know, it's just, it never miss. My introspective ability to look at you and see what type of person you are at your soul, in your core, never fails. It never fails. I could spot you a mile away. That all of this is all about one thing. You turn it all around. I don't know how you turn this game, what we're looking on screen right now. I don't know how you turn this character that we're seeing. Let's get the better shot at the beginning. With this character, I don't know how you turn this all the way around and making it about a black person and saying, go woke, go broke, cancel culture, censorship. I don't know how you make that trip. I don't know how you do it. If you were playing basketball, you would not only get a traveling violation, you may be sentenced to life imprisonment. What you have done is you have murdered the concept of the sport, not just the sport of basketball, sports of all humankind. What you have done was so egregious, you've reached so far that you have now committed a crime. And we need to lock you up. We need to lock your bitch ass up somewhere and put your bitch ass in a facility where you can just get bitch slapped 24/7 until some common sense can be somewhat mimicked, until you can somewhat mimic some common sense. I don't understand it. I don't understand it. Both communities, and they're all surrounding this game, and they're all full of shit. In between those communities are people willing to meet in the middle, and they seem pretty cool. I may not agree with what the company has been done, or what they've been rumored to have done, reportedly to have done. You know, I'm a little bit weary about it, and I understand that. You know, okay. And then there's the people, damn, this character does not look appropriate, this character this character that, you know, it's not with the times. And I honestly feel like they're just shaming the character for being different. This is not the culture that we want. This character doesn't look like, you know, anything resembling to us. That. This character, you know, it honestly feels like they're trying to take away, you know, some other culture. You know, like they're trying to colonize it in their own way. You know, it doesn't feel right. Anyways, I gotta eat breakfast. Peace, much love. Game looks fun. Catch y'all on the flip side.